Hey guys, welcome back to another episode of r/IDontWorkHereLady. It's time to check out some more Reddit posts about some real oblivious people, so let's get into it. Karen didn't believe the correct directions, so I gave her terrible directions. This happened probably 30 years ago, before GPS was in every car. I grew up near a flea market that was extremely popular. It was located in a rural area about 45 minutes outside a major metropolitan area. And in the summer, the lines to get into the parking lot would be backed up a half mile or more. The market was open on Tuesdays and Saturdays. Selling frozen fruit bars from a cart there during the summer was my first job. I rode my bike there and knew it was exactly 1 mile from our driveway to their driveway on the same road. There was one intersection with a stop sign in the middle. One Tuesday after school had started, my sister and I were outside waiting for the bus. This woman rolls to a stop in front of us and asks if we knew how to get to the flea market. I told her it was a mile that way, pointing in the correct direction. She says that they've already been that way. So I repeated, it's a mile that way. There is one stop sign that you need to go through, but it's on the same road we are on. She starts screaming that they've already been that way and asking why I'm lying to her. So I apologized and said I was sorry for trying to mess with her. Sidebar. I was really good with maps and geography and spent a lot of my early teenage years riding my bike all over the area I grew up in. So I then proceeded to give her a made-up set of turns, going the opposite direction that would put her at least 25 minutes away from us, knowing our bus would pick us up in a minute or two. They were complicated enough that she had to get out a pen and paper and write them down, and she'd have a hard time backtracking to us even if she wanted to. And I was confident enough that she believed I wasn't BSing her. My mom came out after the woman left and asked what was up. I said, just another lost tourist looking for the flea market. I destroy a demanding Karen's grocery list. I was doing my weekly grocery shopping at one of the supermarkets in my area, Cape Cod, Massachusetts. I was wearing a collarless Celtic grandfather shirt and kilt. A Karen came up to me assuming, for some weird reason, that I am an employee. How many stores on Cape Cod have kilts as part of the dress code for male employees? And hits me with the infamous, "Excuse me." I said, "Yes?" And she shoved a piece of paper, her grocery list, in my hand. I handed it back to her and said, "Sorry, I don't work here." She then shoved her grocery list in the front pocket of my shirt, saying, "Don't lie to me, do your job." Rather than argue, I took the grocery list out of my shirt pocket, ripped it in half, and then in half again. I then threw the pieces into the air. She started screaming for a manager. It just so happened the manager on duty wasn't far away and recognized me, because frankly, there are not too many men on Cape Cod who wear a kilt almost every day, spring, summer, and fall, and I am a regular customer. She demanded I be fired, and he explained I was a customer and did not work there. He then picked up the pieces of paper from her torn up grocery list, handed them back to the Karen, and told her that she could find tape to tape her list back together again for sale in the next aisle where the school supplies are. She stood there, her mouth opening and closing like a fish out of water, and he and I walked up to the cashiers so I could pay for my groceries. I don't know what happened after that as I headed out to my car, loaded my groceries inside, and drove home. Yeah, that's honestly a bit of an invasion of personal space. Even if someone was a worker and didn't take something that you were trying to hand to them, shoving it in their pocket is definitely a bit too much. Some people just really have no concept of boundaries, do they? Weaponizing the teed-off wife against Karen. My friend gave some lady, demanding his manager for refusing to help her, a number and said, "She can speak with you now if you need." The lady called and after hearing, "Hello?" proceeded to go on a 5-minute tirade. During this 5-minute tirade, dude is walking around being followed by Karen while he shops. His wife appears, and when Karen finally takes oxygen into her body and brain, the wife says into her own cell phone, "I know this is hard for you to comprehend, but my husband is shopping with me. F off before I punch you in the face." Hung up the phone and stared down Karen, clearly hoping she'd have an excuse. Wife had been having a bad day. Karen was smart enough for once to silently walk the hell away, and husband asked if she wanted her favorite ice cream and chocolate. Entitled woman thinks I work at Dollar General, gets shut down by store manager. For context, this story took place 3 days before Christmas, 2020. I was shopping for some sweet sugary treats. It was 3 minutes past opening. I was one of the first customers in the store. So I figured I would be able to get in, get my purchases, and get out. Before any of the bob cut, "I want to talk to your manager, I want him fired," self-entitled Karens walked in. Unfortunately, that was not meant to be. 3 minutes after I walked in, the bitch walked in. Karen, grabbing OP, says, "Excuse me, I need your help. You should be helping customers with their shopping this close to Christmas." OP, attempting to brush Karen's hand away, replies, "I do not work here, ma'am. I am trying to get some shopping done. I, like you, am a customer." Important note, Dollar General employees wear a black polo shirt with the company logo on them, a yellow name tag with the company name on them, as well as their name on a white sticker that is affixed to the name tag, black or khaki dress slacks, and tennis shoes. I was wearing a hoodie with my high school name on it, pajama bottoms, and tennis shoes, so nothing like an employee. Karen, now spinning around, says, "I said I need your help. Stop touching product and do your job. Customers come first." Now pissed, OP responds, "I said I don't work here. I am a customer just like you. I am not wearing their uniform." Refusing to believe OP, Karen says back, "You are lying. You are covering your uniform so you can ignore the customers that pay your wage." I take off my hooded sweatshirt. Important note as to what I am wearing underneath, a white Cleveland Cavaliers jersey from the Mark Price era. In fact, it was a Mark Price jersey just bought in 2019. Showing off my Cavaliers jersey, I say, "Do I look like I am wearing the uniform? I am quite clearly wearing the jersey of my favorite Cavaliers player of all time. And even if I did work here, I would not assist you on my day off. And if I was on the clock, I would not help you after you treated me like garbage." Obviously insulted, Karen responds with, "I am going to get your manager and have him fire you for refusing to help a customer." She walked away, so I began to grab my purchases in earnest. 5 minutes later, she walked back and had Carl in tow. Important note, Carl is a friend of mine. We have known each other since I was 5 and he was 8. So Karen says to Carl, "This employee refused to help me. He was rude about refusing to help me 3 days before Christmas. He would rather buy his diabetes-inducing treats than help a loyal customer." And Carl says back to Karen, "I have known OP for 31 years. He has never been rude to anyone. He worked in restaurants for close to 10 years. He was never rude to a customer. You, on the other hand, I have never seen you before. OP is not an employee here. He, unlike you, is a regular customer. And now he, unlike you, is shopping here. You are to leave, now." Karen, refusing to leave, turns to start shopping and says, "I will just leave him alone and buy what I came for. If you want to keep your job, you will let me buy what I need to buy. This store is the only store within 5 minutes of my house that has this product currently in stock." And Carl, grabbing his cell phone, says, "I said leave." He starts dialing the police non-emergency number. "Now, if I press send, you will be arrested for loitering, and I will have you trespassed." The Karen left. I finished shopping. I went home with a case of Dr. Pepper, 2 boxes of Twinkies, 3 personal-sized cups of Toll House ice cream, and 3 bags of Hershey's assorted miniatures. Karen ended up, because of her attitude, not getting whatever she was shopping for. Thank you, Carl. Racist lady gets arrested. Now, a couple things that OP added at the end I'll include first to add some context. This happened 2 years ago inside a Chinese store, and my wife was my girlfriend at the time, so I thought it would be right to call her girlfriend instead of wife. I'm not in the US, and you wouldn't believe how fast the police are to respond here. I live in Europe. By the way, as a warning, it should be obvious from the title, but there are a couple racist comments from the lady. So me and my girlfriend were hanging out in the store that had a bit of everything when she decides to look for some covers for her phone. I stayed in a corridor near there looking at the tech stuff, when suddenly a lady comes up to me. "Hey you, can you tell me where I can get so-and-so item?" I look around for a second before looking back at her. "I don't know, I don't work." She interrupts me before I could say the magic phrase, "I don't work here," and says, "You brown people are all the same and don't know how to treat customers. Disgusting." The face I made as she leaves. I'm about to go to my girlfriend and tell her the story about this crazy lady, but before I could reach her, this lady comes back, and I kid you not, she starts spraying those house deodorants in my face, blinding me. "Serves you right for being lazy," and insert racial slur. "What the f***? Help," I said. My girlfriend heard me yelling and came, and before I could say anything, I could hear the lady realize that I didn't, in fact, work there, as my girlfriend calls the police, and I guess staff didn't let her leave, because when I could see again after washing my eyes, she was crying and getting arrested. The police asked if I'd like to press charges. I said yes. Even if I was an employee there, that's no way to treat people. Treat others as you wish to be treated. The end. P.S. I went for a checkup for my eyes after that, and everything was alright. More of a I don't work there. I used to work at a local ice cream store that did not offer any coffee or espresso, just ice cream, milkshakes, and smoothies. Another local ice cream store did offer a wide range of coffee and espresso drinks. The two had wildly different appearances, themes, and brand colors. One night, a woman came in and we had this exchange. I want an affogato, which is ice cream with espresso poured over it. I'm sorry, we don't offer any hot drinks. The other store does, including affogato. They are located a few blocks up the street. Don't be ridiculous, give me an affogato. I'm sorry, I don't want to be rude, but I believe you must have us confused with the other store. No, I've had it here before. Why don't you give me one? I'm really sorry, I just can't give you something I don't have. The other store is just up the street on the right. I want to speak to your manager, she says. I'm the only person here, but you could call tomorrow morning to speak with her or log a complaint on our website. I cannot believe this. I really don't know what else to tell you. Sorry. The other store has affogato, and the woman says and storms out. The next morning, she called to complain to the manager that, quote, the very rude girl who was working last night refused to give me an affogato. To which the manager replied that the reason I refused to give her one was probably that we don't serve affogato, and she must have us confused with the other store. She yelled at the manager too and hung up. I remain baffled by this encounter to this day. Alright guys, that is it for today's stories. Thank you for watching, I do appreciate it. If you enjoyed, drop a like, and also subscribe to the channel for more Reddit shenanigans. So take care, stay safe, and I'll see you all in the next one.